Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Trust you have been doing great and trust you've been keeping safe. So it's day 3 of the Big Brother Niger highlight, and then it was basically day 9. Like Biggie showed more of day 9 and day 10 activity, skipping day 6, 7 and 8, I guess. And I'm wondering why. Well, he knows best. Hope you enjoyed day 1 and day 2 review I did. Please, if you have not seen it, you are missing a lot. Go and watch it. So it started with their usual morning drills, everybody getting all ready for the day. So Kid and Erica are just spending time together, looking at the mirror, smiling and laughing. Kid left and Laycon came to meet her. And one discussion that stood out for me that they had was that Laycon was like, and to people like you, when they get hungry, I think it will be so bad, and was kind of advising her on anger management, talking to her about anger management. And Erica was like, why would you say that? Why would you say I have anger issue, blah blah blah, and all that. Laycon apologized and all that. But what stood out for me was I just deny, and Laycon is able to see that. You just spent 9 days with someone and you're able to see that. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And the truth is that I wish she listened, because we all know how this story ended. Then the HOA came, Lucy won, and Biggie made a new rule and said this time you have to pick an opposite gender as DHOH. Gave her 20 minutes, called her to the diary room, and then she chose Prince, basically because he's been understanding of her, and then they've had good relationship so far. Then she sat down with Kat3Na and they were discussing. Kat3Na was like, no problem, at least it will help her know her strength, it will help her know how much people loves her outside and all that. The truth is that we all know what would have happened if Biggie had not made that rule. You can imagine Kat3Na and Lucy ruling the whole house. It's like being like a military kind of, or a dictatorship kind of leadership. Kaisha got drunk and all she wanted to do was just sleep, just because she earlier had disagreement with Tbaj. Laycon was trying to talk to her. No, you can't leave all of us while we are talking and having a nice time and you just want to go. Well, apparently Kaisha didn't listen. She went to sleep outside. So they had their first truth and dare session where Neo was there to lick V's leg, which he did with all pleasure. Nengi and Prince there, Biggie did not show it, and I'm like, okay, wow, Biggie has actually been skipping some parts that probably would have caused unnecessary back and forth, backlashes, agenda. I can't imagine if Biggie had showed this one yesterday, it will have trended again. Aside the toilet, this thing that is even trending now. But it's actually cool that Biggie has been a good boy to an extent. So Biggie didn't show that. It was apparently that week that Ozo was shunning her, was ignoring her, and it was basically because of the truth and dare she had with Prince. So let's move on. We get there. So Tricky had a misunderstanding with Kat3Na, and then he apologized and they hugged it out. Then the camera moved again to Laycon and Erica, and Laycon was seen giving Erica a ring, smiling, hugging and laughing, and she was like, if you cheat, I will go with all your property. That was so funny. And Laycon was like, if you not cheating, what will happen? He said, nothing will happen to me now. So during that time, Kidwaya passed, almost all the housemates passed. It was a funny scene. Well, it's just that the way she collected the ring and then happy moment was just something else. Then she went outside and she and Kid started talking, because they were talking about relationship apparently. And Kid, of course, was saying he was not ready for anything like that. And she was like, she has always believed that a good relationship cannot come from a place like this. I mean, the Big Brother Niger had that. She does not believe that a good relationship can come out from a place or a show like this. So Neo was talking to Nengi, praising her as usual, telling her she's beautiful and she's not even proud. and all of that. Moved to V, and it was like, wow, like he's so grateful to have V. That to not even think that it wasn't the one that approached her, she was the one that approached him. Like, it really, really appreciates her for that. And I'm like, wow, see mentality. So you mean we still have guys like that who really think like that? If there's some guys who be hearing, now you know, you come meet me first. I didn't beg you. You're the one that came to meet me. I'm like, and then you see disrespect here and there, and it was like it's not going to take it for granted at all. Good one. So in the kitchen, briefly, Ozo and Nengi were spotted. Just briefly, like 1 2 seconds. I don't know what they were saying to each other, but briefly they were seen. You know, yesterday I told you that these guys, not much of them have been shown in this highlight so far. Katrina started arguing with Tanali over food, who to serve first, who not to serve first, and they started calling each other names. And it was a terrible sight. Praise came in and was challenging her, and they started talking and they started arguing. Then Tanani called her names and walked out. Then Lucy and Prince were seen speaking in the HOH room, and she was like, the position she has is for work and everybody must work. And the truth is that this housemate actually worked. You need to see all of them. Look at these pictures now, this video. See all of them trying to mop, trying to clean, trying to rearrange and make sure everywhere is neat. It's actually cool. That is like the good side of Lucy's reign. Now let's move to the not so good side. Then the first meeting was called because of that gbas in the kitchen, Kat3Na Tbaj, where Ozo was seen as the head of the family, as usual, the good boy. He was talking about respecting each other, that you were supposed to have dropped your pride outside the door before coming to this place. And then he made a reference that, okay, now take for instance, if God forbid any one of them dies today now, how would they feel remembering how they treated the person? I'm like, wow, that's actually a great reasoning. You need to see the way all of them were listening to him with rapt attention and respect. So Praise came in and was like, when he's angry, he cries, and if he cries for someone, it's all over. Then he was giving reasons why he had to come in and all that. So Erica said Kat3Na have not really been rude to her, but she have seen them do that to others, being bossy and all. That's why I said imagine what would have happened if both of them were HOH and the HOH. Biggie is actually a wise man, and Nengi was like they should treat everyone with respect, and they are all adults here, that what's like if you don't cook you won't eat, blah blah blah, should not be used, that we are all adults here. But trust Watoni was like, no, 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 I am going to be cooking my food because I know myself. Like, I'm even scared right now. She said she's scared right now that she will just avoid unnecessary drama by cooking her own food. Prince and Trikiti also contributed to the discussion. Then the most touching part, like Biggie had to give them a therapeutic session for their brain to calm down. They had their first yoga and they were all sober, calm. Some were even crying. I was like, Biggie, well done. It was all yesterday's highlights was more like a roller coaster, the kind of thing, the fight and then the calmness. Then Lucy went to the diary room where she said everything has been good, and rain and all of that has been good. And then Lilo and Eric were confident that they will survive and skate through eviction. Neo and V also, when Biggie asked them. But then when Biggie asked V of Lucy's reign, trust V to always dish it out the way it is now. No hiding, no painting of anything. She would say the way it is. She was like, the very first day she saw Lucy on that chair, she knew that trouble has come. I was like, see this girl. What, your mouth will not kill you. She was like, immediately Lucy sat on that chair, she felt that they were under dictatorship. And I kid you not, I think that is just the truth. Kaisha also said she would have preferred Ozo as HOH. I was like, oh, wow, that's actually cool. So Beginner asked Lilo if there was any other thing she would love to discuss with him. And she was crying, started crying. I was like, distracted, and coming to the house, that wasn't her plan at all. Getting to a relationship was not part of her plan. But she got entangled with Eric and she feels helpless now and all that. Biggie didn't show what happened next, but like she was literally crying and she was just lost. From her eyes, I could see that this girl is just in the middle of the devil and the deep blue sea, right? She doesn't want to let Eric go, and then she still doesn't want to lose the game. But what can she do? But when they were in the house, Biggie advised her to do the right thing and stick to her game. They didn't show this part yesterday, but that was what happened. Dorothy and Ozo talked about how he has been ignoring Nengi and that they don't eat together again anymore. And even when Ozo was talking to everybody in the house, he was like, the only food he has been eating since he came is Katrina. Is either Katrina cooks or Dorothy cooks for him. So Dorothy was talking to him that what is happening, you don't have to ignore her, she's your friend and all that, and actually praise her for that. But what I do not understand is us saying that the same scenario that played between Nengi and Ozo, the same triangle that happened, is what is also happening between Ozo, Prince, and Nengi. Apparently, Ozo was just angry that she had that truth and dare session with Prince. And I'm like, Oga, how are you now? Jealous Ozo. I mean, everyone should be jealous of the people they love. Going back to Dorothy, what I do not understand is why she'll be comparing what happened between Nengi, Ozo, and her to what is happening between Ozo, Prince, and Nengi. To me, it's a different scenario entirely. Ozo made it clear from the onset that he is attracted to this girl, and he made Dorothy know that you're a best friend, you're my friend, you're my confidant in this house, but he's attracted to Nengi. Made it clear. That's why what is happening between Prince, Ozo, and Nengi is just two men interested in a lady. So I'm wondering, it's not a triangle at all. It's a straight line. Ozo said it before over and over again. It's a straight line. It's not a triangle. So I'm wondering why she would say that. Is it that what people have been saying that she was actually interested in Ozo, taking all of the time and the care Ozo was probably giving her as a signal, or that Ozo wanted her and then she was developing feeling? I do not know, but what I have issue is what I just said. It wasn't a triangle. What happened between her and Ozo is not a triangle, it was a straight line. For me, if you have a different opinion, let's talk at the comment section. Telling Ozo to not ignore Nengi and then go back, I actually commend her for that. And then the next thing we saw was these guys, oh god, sitting down and eating indomie in the pot, influenced by Nengi as usual. And I was like, hey, see these children, oh, just how many minutes ago you guys were ignoring each other for close to 2 weeks, and now you are eating indomie, smiling, all happy. You could see the happiness on their face. Now this is like the first time Biggie be giving them full attention since the highlights started. You know, my first day 1 and 2, I said they were just like strangers, not too much camera been given to them in the highlights. Now this one, he actually closed with that. They were happy eating their indomie together, and it's actually cool and beautiful. Ozonshipas, you guys are about to have your moments back to back, because I think it's just starting. So share your opinion, feel free to share your view at the comment section, and I'll be back with amazing gist. Till I come your way, be good, be safe. Bye.